What role did music play in helping you deal with all this?
Well, after the boys were diagnosed, again, somebody was like, my husband was like, you should write a song about this. And because we were there was the Cure GM1 Foundation had just started by another parent. She had formed this group. Her daughter had been diagnosed like a year before ours. And he was like, because we were having like a meeting, and seeing like, well, how can we all help, And so Brad was like, I think you should write a song, and it can be like a fundraiser, and it's like building awareness and stuff. So I was like, oh, you're right, I could do that, and so I got working on it. It was quite a process, and Brad's I go to him with songs and he gives me feedback, and he's very honest. That's one of the things that drew me to him, was that I felt like I could trust him. Like, he's a very honest person. He's the one that I can count on to be like, no, like this needs to be better. Like, I think I just knew that he would make me a better person, and which is like I have a very strong like growth, like feeling like I'm growing. And so I really needed that in a partner. And so over a process of time, and finally the last time I sang to him, he started to cry. He was like, okay, you got it.
That's cool.
So yeah, but so we kind of worked hard on that. He helped me make like a music video, and we had like images of our family and of Eli and kind of some of the process that he's been through up to that point. And so it was very therapeutic, it was just, it was just such a beautiful way for me to say, here's intentionally how I feel I'm going to think about this and how I feel about this, but also here's my sadness too. After that, I started writing more regularly, and I started, so ever since then, I really haven't stopped, like writing or arranging. Before Eli's funeral, I decided I was going to sing, even though it was really hard.
I can't even imagine.
So anyway, I sang Peace in Christ. So, and the months while he was still living, leading up to that, I was practicing and singing it, and I would just bawl my eyes out, and I felt it to my core.
Yeah.
And music has a different way of speaking to you that nothing else can do. It has a way of softening your heart and opening your heart, and it's just different. It's special. It's unique. And so, yeah, it's amazing way of communicating, So yeah, I really latched onto that to help process everything. We had Lucas at the beginning of 2020, and so that was a rough year all around, because we had this new baby, and there were some issues at the labor that were, some like both of us almost died, and then we kind of got through that, and then but Eli was requiring so much night and day. Brad and I were on the couch and just all the time taking care of him, and then trying to take care of the newborn baby, and trying to take care of Evan, who wasn't amazing either. But it was difficult on Leia. It was hard when the boys started to really get worse and regress. It is what it is. She's helped with the Lucas a lot. She helps us babysit from time to time. I still don't think it's easy for her. I mean, Lucas is getting to the point where I'm like, he needs a feeding tube. Like, he's struggling, and he could really benefit from having better nutrition, because I can see the signs of him. Like, he's crying a lot more at mealtimes. He's not comfortable. I just know I've been through this twice now, from beginning to the very end. And so and it's been hard for me to go, okay, this is happening sooner than I wanted it to, but and then I'm trying to avoid thinking, okay, well, it's all just terrible from here on out, for him. But I'm like, there's also lots of beautiful moments. And you know what? Something that has helped me recently is I was thinking about, how can I fear not? Because this time it's not fearing the unknown. This time it's actually fearing the exact known. I'm like, I know what this looks like. And sometimes it is not pretty. And I'm like, but the Lord always tells us, fear not. Like, and my peace I give to you, and your burdens shall feel lighter. And so I'm like, how can I live more in that? And honestly, like I was in this moment where I was trying to feed Lucas, and he's struggling, and he's kind of crying and whining, but he still wants to eat because he's, and I'm like, okay, well, I pictured the Savior healing him, like in that moment, like ministering to him. And it brought me so much peace and joy in that, kind of frustrating moment. And for me, sometimes that visual, I just need that visual. So I'll just imagine things. And that was like, Jesus has got you no matter, even if you have to go through, no matter what, it's all going to be okay. So that was just another idea that I've had. Another thing that I did since, so after Eli passed away, I think I've been doing this for like 4 years or so. I have been doing this thing called pray with paper. And no, not every single day, 100% of the days, but I try in the morning. I call it pray with paper, where I just have paper or probably a document on my phone in front of me, and I open it up and I'm ready. And then I pray and I say, is there anything that you want me to remember today? Anything that I need to do today? How can I think about this situation? How can I deal with this? Or what did I forget, or anything? Just what do you want me to know? I'm here. I'm ready. And then I write down whatever comes to my mind. If it's like, text this person, or remember to talk to your daughter about this, or have your family meeting, or, like whatever, I just write it down. It's usually something simple that I can do.
That's beautiful.
And it built my connection with and like, it's helped me leading up to Evan's passing. And then it's amazing now. Sometimes I'll start praying and I'll go, and I won't even like actually start praying yet. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do this. Like the Spirit will just remind me of like, wait, you were going to do this is really important. Or like you said to this person that you would. So
wow.
Yeah.
I really, really love that. Because you expect.
It's hard actually, because Satan's whispering in my ear every single time. No, he's not going to say anything to you. Why would he?
Yeah.
He
doesn't have time for you.
No, like you're not, and every time I have to go, and there have been a few periods where I'm like, I've been a little down and I haven't really been like in tune as much, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, there's nothing. And then, I move on. But when I'm really humble and I'm really like trusting and I'm full of faith and I just do it and I just write down what comes to my mind. It's amazing and it's beautiful and it's simple,
I think you keep all that, right? You haven't.
Yeah. So I have that record now that I can look back.
It's so incredible.
Yeah. So it's funny. I was talking to Brad the other day and he was like, well, what about those days that you miss those appointments, because there's sometimes where I'm like, oh yeah, whoops, I completely forgot about that. And again, I'm like, that was the day I didn't pray with paper. I mean, like, honestly.
That is amazing.
If I do it, then I don't forget those things.
I can envision kids saying, my grandma wrote this. And look how she conquered some hard things. And these are some, we'll just call them revelations that she got every day.
Yeah.
I can just
and
see
it doesn't have to be
power.
like complicated, like, oh, is this from the Spirit or is this whatever? It's like, is it a good thing? I mean, like, then it's probably then it's light and truth. It's from God.
Absolutely.
So whatever comes to your mind, just write it down and just try to do it. If you try to do it, then I think you build that trust and you build trust in yourself that you feel like you can learn. And so I feel like I'm learning slowly a little bit better about how to hear the Spirit. So even at other times of the day now, if I have a prompting, I'll recognize it a little bit better as, something and try to follow certain ideas that come or whatever. So,
wow.
Yeah.
We have people in our ward that have a lot of really cool talents.
Mm-hmm.
And this may be an observation that is just not accurate, But it feels to me like since you guys moved into the ward, those people that have musical talents, you've helped bring that out in our ward.
Oh, cool.
And you might not see that, and I might be misreading it.
Yeah.
But it feels like those that have it, it's just kind of mushroomed and kind of blown up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. Because I'm with you. Music is powerful. I know for me, if I am feeling a little sad or down or whatever, I know I can pull myself back in through music.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's super cool. Matter of fact, I don't know if I should say this on here, but I've been hey, Bishop Rick, we should like call people to be in the choir. They haven't quite bought into that yet.
I know.
I'm like, that should be a calling.
Yeah, I'd be good with that. Yes.
50-person choir would be amazing. Because there's so many people, they don't think they can sing, but they really can.
I know. And just to get enough voices, it's fine.
Yeah. Because then you have enough that, it's going to hide those like me that can't sing. Like literally, I can't. I don't know. Music is incredible.
Well, and that Pray with Paper thing, I think led me to just like kind of hone my skills to like, okay, what should I do with this that would be good to do with it? And so like I got the idea, I'm like, I feel like I want to do something more structured with my music. And so I decided to start, this was just before Evan passed away. I was thinking about this, and then right after is when I started doing this, was arranging whatever song is the suggested song in the Come Follow Me that week, the hymn or the primary song. I was like, okay, I'm going to arrange that and have a channel that's just for that. And for me, I really like the visual aspect of it, and like kind of church videos and images that kind of remind you and bring out the text, and also singing it in maybe a slightly different way or have a different arrangement of it. That really, my goal is to like help us to understand the text in a new way and bring it out to understand it in a deeper way. So that's when I started doing that, and it's been so good for me. I feel like throughout all these years, I've had to have something, for myself to continue to do and grow, and to not lose myself completely, and just, or neglect myself, I guess, because I had to be strong and whole. And
couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So I've tried to make time for that when I could. It's not easy all the time, to figure out, okay, when can I do this? And over the summer, basically, I don't know, I'm not really doing much with it over the summer because I have Lucas all day, but yeah. And then once, I started I like bringing in other people, because I feel like that's where I just think it's beautiful, to bring in more people and to like say, okay, come do this with me, or
see, So my observation isn't incorrect.
Oh. Well, I have been doing that on my channel, and then I think it's probably penetrated into the word.
Honestly, I've seen it, and I think a lot of people notice it.
I can't claim that, but that's nice of you to say.
We do have a lot of talented people, and it just, to me, and like I said, I could be wrong, it feels like it's
I'm super passionate about it
a lot more. It's
too,
really cool.
And so like if I'm passionate about it, then maybe other people can feed off of that, because I'm just a passionate person. So
I'm the type of person that I would love to have a special musical number every sacrament meeting.
Oh,
because of the power of music.
Yeah,
it really is powerful. And whenever there's a special musical number, it just feels like the Spirit's typically strong in sacrament meeting anyway. But it just it's super cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. So let me. I like to ask people and this one question, and you've already kind of touched on it. But I kind of want to see if there's something a little more there maybe. And it's when did you first decide that, look, and I think you've already gone there, and it was when you kind of realized what was happening. but maybe there might be a little bit more we could explore. And that's, when did you realize, hey, I'm all in on the gospel? This is true. It's my lifeline, and we're here to learn. So I'm in. Teach me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was, from a young age, I was a spiritual child. And so like I would try to like get my family to do family home evening, or like my parents would sometimes too, but I would also like sometimes be like organize it and stuff. And so I had like a spiritual side to me, although I also had a very carnal side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have to
those
balance
opposites,
that.
right?
Yeah.
But I remember like being up in, like we lived with, again, in one of those living situations, we lived with like my aunt and uncle for a while. And I was up in like their attic, like top little part of their house. And there was like a bunch of storage on one side, but there was my little corner and I had a bed over there. It had a little lamp. And I loved my little corner. It was like private, away from everybody else. And I remember reading my scriptures. I was like 8 years old. And I was like reading my scriptures in that little corner. And I felt the Spirit and I was so happy. And I never forgot just that moment in time. And so I think I always knew, I always recognized how good it felt, how good the Spirit felt, how good it felt to be at church. And throughout my life, I think as things happened, and or if I would turn away a little bit, I would come back and go, no, this is the way. And I had that conviction, and I recognized when I had struggle at times, like the difference between the darkness and the light.
That's cool.
Yeah. I see it today. I'm like, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, the gospel of Jesus Christ is just light and truth. And I think it was a gradual process for me. And then it took some times of hard moments for me to make, like, this is who I am. This is who I'm choosing to be, like, to make choices, to feel like, and then I of course, as I look back, I'm like, I had no choice, really. I mean, the alternative would have been terrible. Yeah. Like having the gospel in my life helped me so much and gave me so much peace and vision and clarity for everything that we were going through, and context for everything that we were going through, the answers for the hard things in life. Life is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard, That's one of the major aspects of it, is to challenge us, and it's not supposed to just be easy. And yeah, I mean, maybe at times I would be jealous, but I was like, you know what? You can't compare. Like this just,
that statement right there, life is supposed to be hard. It's true, right? We
Yeah.
we know that we're being proven.
Yeah.
And we chose it.
Yeah.
And let's go. Send me whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm ready. I think oftentimes that comparison that you mentioned, sometimes we don't think that other people are having problems. It's just me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of why I want to do this.
Yeah.
Our problems are different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're meant to be, right? They're meant to be for us. You had mentioned earlier that our Father in heaven was letting it happen. Mm-hmm. He wasn't, okay, I'm going to make this happen, because I believe he lets things happen.
Mm-hmm. Because he could also make it happen, but sure. I don't think that, I mean, that's just, I don't think that's how he works a lot of the time.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But it's hard at the time when we go through it, but mm-hmm. I do believe he's there. Yeah. And it's so hard because of the natural man, and to see it sometimes. Yeah. And where you had mentioned, look, there's the dark and the light, and you've learned to distinguish between the two. I remember a talk, Elder Holland gave. Mm-hmm. He says, look, guys, we know the ending. Yeah. We know who wins. Mm-hmm. We just have to choose which jersey we're going to put on. Yeah. And I'm way oversimplifying, of course, but it really kind of is. I don't want to say that simple, but yeah, we do have struggles that we all do, and being willing to be more open with those struggles so we can help each other. Yeah. And have true empathy and charity for one another. Yeah. Because, like you said, helping each other, that community you've had around you, without that, man, yeah. I don't know how we do it.
No, I know.
I don't know how we do it.
So much that I've gained from learning from others and and from their compassionate care to us, you know, about what it's like to be that kind of person and to be on the receiving end of that and to understand all of that a little bit better. But yeah, we learn so much from others and we need one another. And I really admire the people who are willing. I've heard a lot of, especially youth and young people in our ward who are willing to expose themselves. I mean, not in a bad way, in a, way that's not appropriate, but in a way that's like, here are my imperfections, and I'm working and like to just be honest, because sometimes I think people need to hear that. They need to know that, like, I think sometimes we're a little bit too prideful. I know that I am a lot, and I'm like, I know it all. I'm going to share my beautiful comment in church. Yeah. But it's like, you know what? I'm struggling too at times, throughout the week. Like, I make a lot of mistakes, and, am I willing to show that side of myself too? Ultimately, we're just all sinners. Like, we really are. And it's only by the grace of Christ that anything happens. And that's another thing too, when hard things happen, is there's so much that we could be grateful for throughout all of it. And sometimes we get so stuck on the hard thing or whatever, or the hard things, that we're blind to the truth and the reality of things, which is how blessed we really all truly are. And life is supposed to be hard, but also like there are angels all around us, and God has given us so much, and he's willing to give us everything.
Yeah, I love how you said that. That's amazing. Kind of to wrap all this up, if there was somebody, whoever you envision in your mind, that needed, that pep talk, what would you say to them?
Try to understand the nature of God and who he is, and learn of him and Jesus Christ and their goodness. That'll give you so much comfort, so much peace. And seek out for help. Like, find people that can help you, find resources. I've always all about like learning and doing courses and like trying to help my marriage survive, just everything, just do what you can. And then also, don't make yourself crazy doing that either. But yeah, I just turn to God and try to be close to him, to help you and get the help that you need to from others. But
you just brought something up, and I don't know if you want to go there. Maybe you're like, okay, we're good. But you did talk about, your marriage and this whole process that you've been through. I mean, that can't be easy for the two of you, because you're constant in care mode. I imagine you don't have a ton of time to, hey, we're going to go to Hawaii for a week.
Yeah, we didn't do that. No.
So, I mean, a lot of people, they can, hey, we're going to go away for the weekend, and just for some time for us. And you probably haven't had a lot of opportunities like that. So.
No, we've had a couple of, like, we've done a few like 24-hour things. And like I said, we did have some respite providers that were really helpful. So we did do regular dates for a little while. And so, yeah. But it was hard, especially after like the diagnosis, when I told you I was like becoming like the Wicked Witch of the West. So I had to work on that a little bit, but I ultimately realized that I couldn't do anything to like change my husband or to work. Like, the only thing I could do was try to work on myself and to try to understand how to understand him better and how to value him as he is, because we approach things differently. And so kind of doing that work, I like took a course, and that was all I could do, and over time I began to see how amazing he really is. There were some rough periods where we're like, I don't know if this marriage is going to survive. But over time, I just really grew to appreciate him more, and his unique, and just as a man too, men and women are just different, and to appreciate that masculine nature that he has and the goodness in him. One thing that I've thought of recently is that if I'm in a moment where I'm hurting, I'm like upset about something, or I feel hurt, by like whatever perceived hurts that I think, and I'm just wanting to like not do anything and just not interact with him or whatever, and just draw myself away and not show love or anything. If I can in that moment go, you know what, just a little teeny drop, I can give just a teeny drop of love right now. It feels like a sacrifice, and I just want to be validated or whatever. I want him to do this. I'm the only one that I can control. And so if I can just like a teeny little drop So I just, a tiny bit of my pride, like just a crack, opens up. And then if I can go, okay, if I can think of that, then I'll just, something small, like I'll just go sit by him or whatever, or I'll just ask him if he needs something. And like just teeny drop, it changes everything. Like it changes instantly. I'm back in that mode where I need to be, where I'm loving him again. And I understand. And then my mind starts to open and go, oh yeah, well, he's doing the best he can. And like, really, there's not the big deal here, or whatever. I start to see his perspective, but it just takes that tiny little crack open and go, just the thought of like, I can just get a little drop, just a teeny little drop I can offer right now. So anyway,
I absolutely love that, because I think that's something we all do.
Yeah.
but sometimes it takes some of us a little longer.
Yeah.
So I love that you actually have that mental exercise with yourself. Okay. I'm going to do my part, and it melts it.
It does.
And whatever it was gets resolved. And maybe it doesn't. It just, you both realize, okay, that was stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
That is awesome. Because, this whole experience, when you deal, I'm some big professional. No, I'm not. But when you deal with a lot of trauma and difficult situations, it either brings people together or it tears them apart. Yeah. And really we have to choose, right? And a lot of us, we don't really have situations like you've had to deal with, that you really have to make a choice. I'm in it or I'm not. Yeah. And so I think it's really, really,
it's all inspiring. About balance. That Dr. Seuss book where it's like, and life is a great balancing act. That's like a quote in there. Yeah. I've thought about that because I so believe it. Is it over there?
It's probably one of those right there.
Yeah. I'm like, it's like, you have to grieve. You have to process your emotions. You have to take care of yourself. You have to sacrifice and take care of your children. Yeah. You also have to work on your marriage. You have to work on your spirituality. And I think it takes some wisdom and some navigating. And it's such a balancing act. But you can't go too hard on one thing if you're just like, you're sacrificing your marriage for your children all the time. That's not good. Yeah. That's not healthy. That's not right. I think it's important to understand that principle as well and try your best. You're going to fail at it all the time, but just to try, and I think that if we just put forth a little effort, the Lord he'll make it all work out.
He will.
He'll make it all work out. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. I've got other questions, but I don't know that it.
Yeah, we've been talking for a while.
We have. So thank you.
Yes.
I think a lot of people are going to connect with different pieces of what we talked about. So. And certainly the goal is to get to know each other better. And I'm grateful that you were willing to come over and spend some time. And I think it's going to be awesome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me and asking me to do this.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening to that interview with Marilee Lishman. I want to encourage you to stick around and listen. We've added in 2 songs that Marilee recorded. One of them is the song that she wrote together with her husband about her boys that she referenced during this podcast. So please stick around and listen to those songs.
Doctor, is there nothing that we can do? He's just a child. Can it be true? Doctor, you say he'll fade away. I don't know what to think or say. Doctor, the sister, what will she do? How to be strong? How to get through? Brother and sister, he has fun with you. Although he can't do what he what you mean to me. Mommy, I thank you for loving me. I am your child. I'll always be. We have entered into this world where we have forgotten it all. With Him we'll walk this road, overcoming the fall. As we enter thy covenant, in the name of Him who is sent, we'll stand as witnesses for the land that was rent. We are clothed in power on the path that Jesus has shown. Blessings unfold in that future hour. This covenant road is our way back home. On this covenant road, He invites all, come home. On this covenant road, as we're on this road, it was bent. Will our broken hearts ever mend? No, we are not alone, bound with Him till the end. We are clothed in power on the path that Jesus has shown. Blessings unfold in the future hour. This covenant road is our way back home. On this covenant road, promise blessings on this covenant road. We are clothed in power on the path that Jesus has shown. Blessings unfold in that future hour. This covenant road is our way back home. On this covenant road, He invites all, come home. On this covenant road.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Let me take a second here to ask anyone who feels like they would enjoy sharing their story to contact me and to let me know. I know that might sound a little scary and might not be what you normally do, but if you're feeling that tug in your heart, don't be shy. Reach out and we'll make it happen.